We're going on a trip with our favorite rocket ship, zooming through the sky. Little Einsteins, climb aboard, get ready to explore. There's so much to find. Little Einsteins.
Arrival is directed by Canadian director Denis Villeneuve. It stars Amy Adams as a linguist. She studies languages for a living. And basically, the premise of this film is that these gigantic alien pods land all over the world. And every 12 or so hours, the pod opens so people can go inside and talk to the aliens. But the aliens speak a different language. They're very, they kind of look like octopuses. They've got like these tentacles, and basically the humans want to find out why these aliens have arrived on Earth. So they call in Amy Adams' character to learn the language of the aliens so she can communicate with them. So I just want to tell you guys right off the bat, I absolutely love this film. I'm a big fan of Denis Villeneuve. He directed some really great films in the past, and I think he's one of the greatest up-and-coming directors. Prisoners is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's just a really great and disturbing film, and probably the scariest movie I've ever seen. Enemy is a really twisty and just a really great psychological thriller. And while I didn't love Sicario as much, I think that it's definitely has a really good tense feel to it that really worked well. So my expectations were really high going to see Arrival. It's not only because Denis Villeneuve, but I'm also a big Amy Adams fan. I think she's one of the most underrated actresses working today, and while she's been nominated for a couple Oscars and she does have a large following, she's mostly in these supporting roles, and she doesn't really get to star as the main actress. She's kind of like in the sidelines. Like when people think of the greatest actresses right now, they think of people like Jennifer Lawrence, and not Amy Adams, unfortunately. And I believe she should be in that category because she's just a really great actress. And this is one of her best performances. She blew me away in this movie. It's a very subtle and restrained performance, but later on in the film, she gives like some very Oscar-worthy moments that I think will definitely get her a nomination. I don't know if she's going to win just because I haven't seen the other competition. And I heard Natalie Portman's really great as Jackie, and there's also Emma Stone in La La Land, so I don't know, but she did do a great job, and it definitely warrants an Oscar nomination for Best Actress. The other performances were really good here too. You've got Jeremy Renner, who I think is a really good actor. He did a great job in a supporting role. Not Oscar-worthy, but he did a great job in the role that he had, and he had great chemistry with Amy Adams. I think that they should be in more movies together because they just had a really good on-screen presence that I think would work great in maybe like a David O. Russell film. He's really good at putting an actor and an actress together and giving them great chemistry, as he did with Jennifer Lawrence and Bradley Cooper. So yeah, I'd love to see Amy Adams and Jeremy Renner in another movie. Also, Forest Whitaker did a good job in the scenes that he was in. I think he's a good actor. I haven't seen that many performances from him other than like Southpaw and a few others, but I think he did a good job in the scenes that he was in. Let's talk about the direction. So, yeah, Denis Villeneuve, he's a great director, and I love what he does with his films. He just creates a tension that works really well, and he gives his films a very unsettling feel to them. And while I feel Arrival is definitely his most audience and family-friendly film, just because Sicario and Prisoners are very disturbing, and Enemy is very psychological. I do think this film goes in a very psychological route as well, and while it definitely has a appeal to wider audiences, it's just as well directed as his other films. The way it looks is really great. Like with other Denis Villeneuve films, they have great cinematography, and this one does as well. It'll definitely get a nomination for best cinematography. There's some scenes with mist and landscape shots with the pods, and it's just beautiful. And the way the aliens look are really cool too. It's unconventional, and it's not like the CGI alien. It's like a cool. It kind of looks like an octopus, and I just love the way they looked. Kind of similar to The Mist, just more realistic. And the score was really great too. It added to the tension. Yeah, so the way it looked was really great. Let's talk a little bit about the plot twist. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I'm just going to say this plot twist absolutely blew me away. I was not expecting it, and when it came, it just, at first I'm like, is that a cop-out? Like, I don't really understand how he's going to tie it in, but about 5 minutes into the third act, I'm like, oh man, that's brilliant. Just because he explains it so well without giving too much exposition, which a lot of sci-fi films suffer from. They bog down in exposition, and this one kind of lets you interpret it yourself, which I think for the most part really works. But that also leads to my flaw. There were a couple scenes in the third act that were ended abruptly and weren't explained, and that's not necessarily a problem. It's just I'd like to see I'd like a little more wrap up, and it goes in a very Tree of Life almost, like Terrence Malick route, which is great. I just would have liked to see, without spoiling anything, a conclusion to a couple scenes there that it kind of like there's no transition, and it doesn't have to do with the editing either. It's just it ends abruptly and it goes to a different scene, and it kind of like doesn't really explain, so it's a bit confusing. But overall, that's just a nitpick. I think that this film is excellent. It'll definitely be a big contender in the Oscars this year. And out of all the space films that came out in the last 4 years, Arrival's definitely the best. They just keep getting better and better. Gravity, I hated. Interstellar was fine. I love The Martian, and I absolutely love Arrival. So I don't think Passengers is going to beat it, but I don't know, maybe there'll be one next year that will beat Arrival, but I don't know. Right now, this is looking like one of the best sci-fi films of the 21st century, right up there with Ex Machina. I know a lot of people put Children of Men up there. Overall, I loved Arrival. I thought it was a great film with amazing performances and a brilliant twist, and I just loved how unconventional it was. So I'm going to give Arrival an A. Overall, definitely recommend it. If you like this video, please give me a like and subscribe. Thanks, guys. I'll be back with a review of Doctor Strange and Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them very soon. And thanks for watching.